question on many people's minds is, can we go to Mars currently? And if we could, what could we do to get there? Well, it seems hard at the moment, but we are getting much closer. Well, first we need to understand Mars to actually be able to go to it and stay on it. First things first, Mars is smaller than Earth. It would take 6 Marses to fit the volume of Earth. Mars weighs less than Earth. It's about 1/10 of the weight of Earth. Mars Mars's gravity compared to Earth's has 62.5% less gravity than Earth. So, its distance from the Sun is 142 million miles, but Earth's is 93 million miles away from the Sun. Mars's temperatures range from negative 284 degrees Fahrenheit to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Earth's temperatures range from negative 126 degrees Fahrenheit to 136 degrees Fahrenheit. Big difference there. Okay, the atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere is 100 times denser. Carbon dioxide. There's 0% carbon dioxide, or not much percent carbon dioxide in Earth's atmosphere. But there's a lot of carbon dioxide in Mars's. It makes up about 95%. That's a huge number. Mars's atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide, which will come to our advantage later on. Nitrogen. There's 78% in Earth, and there's 2% in Mars. Oxygen is 21% in Earth's atmosphere, and there's 0% in Mars's atmosphere. Argon, there's 0% in Earth's atmosphere, but there's 2% in Mars's atmosphere. And they both have 1% other gases. So, which brings us to our first question. Could we get to Mars? Well, there's a few things keeping us away, which I shall read to you. First things first, Mars has extreme temperatures, with an average temperature of minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's rather cold. We are not going to be able to survive in that normally, with just what we have on. Mars has an atmosphere that cannot be used as a breathing source due to the fact that its atmosphere is made mostly of carbon dioxide. It's mostly carbon dioxide. We don't breathe carbon dioxide. We breathe out carbon dioxide once we breathe in oxygen, which will come into play later. Mars' surface also contains radiation deadly to humans. That we cannot get past. A trip to Mars would take 6 months in a current space shuttle. So it takes 6 months to get to Mars. That's not much of a problem, but it's there. Mars has the largest storms in the entire solar system. These storms are capable of covering the entire planet. They have a lot of storms that can be really harmful to us humans. The gravity on Mars can lead to mental and physical problems that become worse when you're re-entering Earth's gravity. So when you come back to Earth, you're going to have problems. Your immune system might be a bit damaged. Your bones become brittle. It's just not as good. If you go to Mars, you can never come back. Here's my solution to the gravity problem. If you go to Mars, you stay on Mars. You don't come back because, think of it this way. If you are having trouble on Mars, well, if you're fine on Mars with that gravity, you might be having a little problems, like, psychologically. But if you come back, that's where a lot of those physical problems are going to come into play. Well, just stay. There's really no reason to go back. I mean, yes, you could get homesick, but at this point, and then also, it's hard to carry that much fuel to get to Mars and back, so just stay. I mean, it's a hard topic, but, I mean, just stay. Also, let's bring back to the chart here. Mars has extreme temperatures with an average temperature of minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That one is not as hard. That one, there is technology open to us that can warm us up so that we could survive in that type of temperature. So that is not as hard. We could do such thing and make that into a suit. Mars is an atmosphere that cannot be used as a breathing source due to the fact that its atmosphere is made of mostly carbon dioxide. Now, think about this. Plants in photosynthesis, they take in carbon dioxide and they use it for food, and then they let out oxygen as a byproduct. Well, Mars's atmosphere is made mostly of carbon dioxide. So, you could, in theory, use plants as an oxygen source. You take all that carbon dioxide and you use it as an oxygen source to give you that oxygen you need. It might take a while, you might need a lot of plants, but you could do it. So that's how you can get the breathing part fixed. Deadly radiation to humans. That one's a bit trickier, but I do believe with our current technology, we can get something made up that would protect us from that radiation. A trip to Mars would take 6 months in a current space shuttle. That is more of something, are you okay to be in a space shuttle for 6 months? I think most people, who if they're going to Mars and staying there for their lives, I think they'll be fine with that. So, yeah, I think we're good. Mars has the largest storms in the entire solar system. These storms are capable of covering the entire planet. Here's what I'm thinking. Obviously, you're going to need something to use as a base at Mars. And that something needs to be rather durable to survive these storms. Where would you build that, and would you be able to build it in time to avoid these storms? Well, I'm thinking your base should be your shuttle. It should land in such a way that after you land it, that's your home, basically. You stay there. That's your home. That's where you do everything. You have all those supplies in there, and that would already be built strong enough to last these storms. And then, one other thing I did think about a little bit is also food. Food, water, what's going to happen there? Well, here's what I'm thinking. Once you go to Mars, they send people to Mars, but after they send people to Mars, they're constantly sending supplies in different space shuttles. So like they might send a shuttle that's filled with water and food, but the food would have to be something that could last the trip. But I think you could do such a thing, and you would just you wouldn't send back the shuttle, so these shuttles would have to be not as carefully built as your base shuttle, but there's something that could hold the food and make it. So you wouldn't be sending people on these shuttles, you would just be sending the food alone. The food and the water alone. Necessary supplies. And that is basically it. So I think right now, even though it's going to be hard, I think you could go to Mars. It's just, it would take a lot of preparation, and it would be you would basically be saying goodbye to Earth. So, in conclusion, yes, I believe we can go to Mars in the near future. So, that will not be me, and that wraps up our video.